Hi there, welcome to the Profit Wizard Show. I'm Chris Hanlon. Well, it's been a while since my last show, and I apologise for that. I'll explain why shortly. Meanwhile, you're probably thinking, this doesn't look right. Where's the animated background? Where's the shirt? This is a little bit casual. Well, I'm considering changing the format slightly, but I thought I'd do a more relaxed show in my lounge today as opposed to downstairs in the office and whiz-bang gadgets and stuff. So, I wanted to tell you why it's been a while since my last show. And there is a point in this, so please bear with me. I've been very busy. On a personal note, I've decided to get back into one of my passions, which is Kyokushin Karate, and I'm training hard towards getting my secondary degree black belt at the end of the year. Other than that, I've been very busy with my corporate job, particularly over the Christmas period. And I want to tell you a little bit about that in order to make a point for you. This is my first corporate job. I've always either had my own business or worked for a small business. And the only reason I ended up in a corporate job is that I lost a business and a lot of money going through a divorce a few years ago. So I got a sales job with a large corporation, which then became a training role. And last year I got a more specialized role with a decent pay rise and the challenge of learning a whole new area, lots of new systems, and a seemingly unending supply of problems to solve. And I love solving problems, so this is all good. Or is it? Robert Kiyosaki, author of the Rich Dad series of books, made the comment that people get addicted to jobs. And I can vouch for the fact that it's easy to cruise when the problems are given to you to solve. You don't have to go out and find them or market to find them. And money is put into your account every month without you having to chase it up. Now, I remember when things were going tough in some of my past businesses, my wife would suggest I pack it in and get a corporate job like she had. And when things got really tough, I actually seriously considered it. I'm telling you now, don't do it. Stay strong. Stick with your business. Why? Because there are some serious downsides to the corporate lifestyle. Yes, I have a lot of problems to solve, but no matter how well I solve them, I get little recognition and no financial reward. There's no value being built up from what I'm doing. When I walk out of this job, I walk out with nothing but a few extra lines on my resume. I'll give you an example. Last year I saved our department $179,000 in invoices that had been paid incorrectly. They'd been invoiced to us incorrectly and we paid them. Now, I hate financials and I'm not an accountant, but I doggedly stuck in there till we got that money back. And for that effort, I got a little framed certificate of recognition and a $100 shopping voucher. Now, if I'd saved $179,000 in my own business or even a client's business, I might have got myself a $20,000 bonus. So I say it again, if times are tough now or in the future and you're hassled by your friends or family to get a job, don't go there. You wish you hadn't, and when you're there, it's a hard habit to break. And breaking the habit is one of the reasons I'm here today. You see, 2 days ago, I was surprised to be put in the hot seat by Jay Abraham for about 15 minutes. Now, if you don't know Jay, he's one of the biggest business consultants out there. He was the one that coined the phrase unique selling proposition, or USP, which you've probably heard of. And for his big week-long workshops, including a 1-hour hot seat, he charges $25,000 US per attendee. Now, I've been in a coaching program with Jay for a year, and it was this program that prompted me to start the Profit Wizard Show in the first place. However, I had to admit to him the other day on the call that I'd got sidetracked with my job and had done little or nothing with my business for months. Now, he wasn't harsh, but he put the hard word on me and told me what I needed to do. He gave me some simple actions which would build momentum in my business and allow me to wean myself from my addiction to my job and my paycheck. So, Jay, if you're watching, thanks, mate. Now, I don't know how I can pay Jay back, but I can do the next best thing and pay it forward. I think we all need a coach and some good advice now and then. So today I want to talk to you through the big R, the recession. And I want to give you some simple, straightforward actions you can take in your small business to minimize the downside and maximize the upside in these interesting times. First, though, we need to frame this correctly. A recession is a natural part of the cycle of business. For some businesses, it can be truly devastating. For others, it can be a real boon. Hooray! The media is doing well with it, for example. But for most businesses, neither positive or negative in itself, if and it's a big if you're adaptable. Now, I think entrepreneur is a fancy word for a problem solver in business. If you are an entrepreneur, then you have the ability to see and solve problems for yourself and for your clients. By definition, you are adaptable. In fact, the recessionary times that are coming will be to the benefit of the small adaptable business and will be much harder time for the big, more rigid companies and corporations. You have the edge. Okay, let's talk about the minimizing the downside first. Yes, there are a whole host of things you can do, but there is one main point that I'm sure I've mentioned before and will repeat again and again, and that is the worst number in business is 1. When Dan Kennedy first pointed this out to me in one of his events in Chicago a couple of years ago, it was a revelation. This idea is so important, I think you should get it tattooed on the inside of your eyelids. If you have one main client and they choke in the recession, guess who's suffering with them? If you rely on one main vendor or supplier for your business or service and they go out of business because nobody is paying their invoices, how will your business survive? If you rely on one source of media to get your leads, prospects and clients, how hard will it hit you if that media disappears overnight? What if you only had one merchant account or one source of business credit and the bank gets edgy with the current economic climate and starts making draconian demands or limitations on what you can do? How will your business fare then? Or if you have one key employee that knows all your systems, does most of the admin stuff, and is the only one who knows how that stuff is done, how will you manage when they tell you their partner just got a great paying job in the mines in Australia and they're leaving in 2 weeks? Your first action step to minimize the downside is to make a list of your customers, your vendors, your marketing systems, your credit facilities, your payment processing facilities, and your staff. Ask yourself, what would happen if any one element were to disappear tomorrow? Now, if there's no major impact, then congratulations, you can sleep at night. But if you find that any of these things will have a huge impact, now is the time to do something about it. Okay, enough doom and gloom. What about maximizing the upside? This is truly exciting because a recession offers the chance for you to catapult your business growth faster than you ever dreamed possible. Look at it this way. In good times, we cruise along with things a little sloppy because we don't need to tighten them up. Bad times force us to look at things a little harder, sharpen our systems, and come up with some new ideas sometimes. The things that help us survive in a recession can make us fabulously wealthy when the good times roll back in. A great example of this in New Zealand was in the Depression of the 20s when an orchard owner named Watty was facing ruin because he couldn't sell his fruit. It was all lying in the bins, ripening, and would soon start to rot. So he decided to make the ripe fruit into jams and sauces and put them in tins. Watty's became a household name in Australasia, famous for their sauces and other canned goods, and Mr. Watty became very wealthy. Now, you don't have to reinvent your business to do well. If you can improve your marketing, if you can gain market share while your competitors are losing theirs in the recession. You may even have the opportunity to buy a couple of your competitors out. When the good times return, your business and your profits will explode. Now, one of the easiest and most effective ways to do this is to create a premium price package for the very top end of your market. And, if possible, increase your prices across the board. Now, make sure that your value you offer is worth more than the higher price. If you can increase your prices while your competitors are cutting theirs, then you will be able to afford more marketing while they can afford less. You will be able to build your client base and your business while they lose their market share. When the good times return, you'll be in a powerful position. Now, I'd like to get into a lot more detail on these, but I'm out of time here. If you're watching this at theprofitwizard.com, I'll put a link below the video where you can get a lot more detail and I can walk you through a series of a process for the business recession profits. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.